Well, good evening, everyone. This is Brenda reading with another episode of Discover Your Spirit on Lilydale Blog Talk Radio. And this episode will be airing Thursday, March 28th, right before the major eclipse that's happening. Everybody's talking about the eclipse. That's why this show is called Eclipse Extravaganza. And I have two very special guests today with me. We have medium extraordinaire, Reverend Greg Kehn from Lilydale, and also his wife, Reverend Leslie Kehn from Lilydale. And they have very significant offerings during this special eclipse weekend. So I'm just going to start by saying welcome, Greg and Leslie.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brenda.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm glad you could be here today. Just taking a look online, and everything that Lilydale does, as you all know, is online. So you can get more information online than what we just talked about today. But there are just so many offerings for this eclipse extravaganza. And what I want to say is, with my limited knowledge in astrology, this eclipse is happening in Aries, right? And it's an eclipse, of course, is when a solar eclipse is when the moon comes between the earth and the sun. And we happen to be in Lilydale in a total, right? So it's going to be a fantastic. And I have to say, I'm not even going to be in town. I booked a trip with my kids down at Disney, and it's like, yeah, okay, that's great. But it's like, I'm going to miss this total eclipse. So take good pictures, you guys, or whatever, so that I can take a peek later, because I'm missing it. Story of my life. Anyways, yeah, so it's in Aries, and it encourages independence, right? Courage, individuality, and bold originality, right? But it also has to be balanced with the fact that it's still an eclipse, right? So they're telling us, don't make any major decisions for a few days, before and after this eclipse. Just let the emotions of everything just flow through, right? But don't you find that we have to use that type of balance, right, in our everyday approach to life? Especially as spiritualists, we really try to bring the balance into what we do, right? With our law of responsibility, individual responsibility, personal responsibility. We just try to be balanced. What did I say last show from Andrew Jackson Davis? In all things, keep an even mind, right? It's like, and that's not always easy to do, right, as humans. Plus, when we have all of these astrological things going on around us. And actually, last night we had a lunar eclipse, right? And so it's like we have this lunar eclipse, and then we've got the solar eclipse. So I'm just saying, for the next 2 weeks, everybody, just wake up in the morning. Thank God that we've got our eyesight, and you know what I mean? The basic needs of life, and let's just motor through the next few weeks, right?
Right.
So, and there's my spiel on the whole thing. All right, so let's start with Greg. Okay, Greg, so you have been a medium for a very long time, so if you would like to just give a quick synopsis of when you started and, all that, just quickly.
Well, I have family that's been in Lilydale for generations, and I have always worked as a medium. When I was 8 years old, I was giving messages at the outdoor services.
Wow.
And at this point, I'm 71, so I've been there a little while.
Oh my goodness.
It's been an interesting energy in my life, because I knew that this is my calling, and this is basically in my lifetime what I've done. And my mother, grandmother, generationally on back, I was raised by my mother, grandmother, and father. And it was an interesting energy, because as a child, I got away with nothing. I mean, all of them being mediums, didn't matter what I did. They're very, very alert to it. And I find that with the eclipse energy, to me in my life, there's different periods in life we advance and we move forward. And the energy supports it in the universe. And I feel that there's different turning points, like you were mentioning astrology. I know there's a turning point when people turn 28 and different things happen and it's a real surge of energy. I feel the eclipse is a surge of energy for us to utilize. Now, some people are already a little far out and they're really stretched in everything they've been believing and doing. And some of them are a little out there. But I feel an energy that this to me is an opening of energy to help center, to bring balance, to bring guidance. I refer to it as the third eye energy, that we're tapping into a higher level and we're not allowing ourselves to be torn or pulled in so many directions on the physical earth plane, but to be centered. And I feel what you mentioned earlier about, being in a sense anchored. Let's anchor ourselves and be centered. There's so many people that are not anchored at this point, and there's so many energies out there that can do one of two things. It can either be very disruptive or it can be incredibly anchoring. And in my mind, in a meditation, we're going to focus on the idea of bringing about that meditative calmness, that where our focus and intent is with spirit, God's energy guiding us, and not do so much in the physical world, but let's focus on the spiritual level. Because we all have the ability with this enhanced energy to rise above where we have been and what we understood into a higher level understanding, as well as a higher level acceptance. People talk about lessons and they'll sometimes resist the lessons. And to me, it's like, let's look at what we have there and what we're learning from it, and no longer look at it as, well, this is a bad thing or a good thing. What am I learning from it? Because all what I'm learning from it is always a good thing. And it's going to be a blessing and upliftment to be focused singularly on that, to bypass all the other dramas and turmoils in the world around us and be able to be more anchored and more centered. And when this eclipse occurs, if we're tapping into a higher energy, I believe once we make the headway in that and we're focusing on that, we literally are becoming a higher being in our understanding and acceptance. How many times we look at things in life and say what we consider important? Well, to me, this is a chance to open everything up and really be at a higher level understanding and awareness. But the importance of it to me is fascinating. I mean, I haven't been here for this kind of eclipse before, I don't believe, in my lifetime. So I think this will be wonderful. And what we can change in the world around us that would be really healing and wonderful is what we're needing to do and focus on.
Oh, Greg, I'm just sitting here and I'm just feeling my energy calm and get peaceful the more he speaks. It's like I can't tell you. So I want to thank you for that, because it's just listening to you talk is like a walking meditation in itself. So with that being said, Greg is offering a class. It's called Cosmic Connections with Spirit, and it is on April 7th, 6:45 to 8:45 p.m. Quick question. Will that be on Zoom?
No.
No,
No.
in
Okay.
person only.
Okay, got it. All right. And this, where will it be held?
In the Lyceum at Lilydale.
In the Lyceum. Okay, awesome. Are there tickets still available for that?
Yes, there are still tickets available online.
Great. Okay, so anybody listening here, it's okay. You can always pause this recording. You can go online, get your ticket so that you have them. I feel like that is going to be a wonderful class, Greg. And people can come out. They can go in with one thought of, what this all means to them, and through your transcendental right offering, they can
Yes.
leave with a new perspective, and just with that bold originality they're supposed to be looking for in this eclipse. So that I think that will be very inspirational. So thank you so much for offering
Thank
that.
you.
Yeah. And you said something I found to be very important, and the anchoring and being led by spirit, right? I mean,
Yes.
it's such, once you welcome that into your existence, right, and you practice that more and more, I find that it's not something that you seek, it just starts to happen, right? It's like we have all of this assistance in the other realms just waiting to help us, right?
Well, I think exactly that. But what's wonderful is with this enhanced energy of the eclipse, I believe we can step beyond our own barriers or our own resistance, or sometimes our own belief system we've been living in, and be able to step beyond that barrier, no matter which barrier it would be. And we do create those barriers for ourselves because we have our comfort zone we're in, and we function in a comfort zone. We don't like going beyond that.
It's
And I
true.
think this energy will take us beyond that. And if we can step beyond that and then really have an open doorway to that higher level, we continue utilizing that at a higher level. And to me, we change our lives.
I have to keep you in my head, Greg, because while I'm at the Magic Kingdom on the 8th in Disney celebrating our 3-year-old granddaughter's birthday, I'm going to be like this, trying to bring all this in, right? But that's okay, right? It's okay. They can all go
Yeah.
on the rides. They can give grandma 15 minutes, right?
Great.
So, awesome. Awesome. I think that's fabulous. Okay, so let's hear a little bit from Leslie on her solar eclipse guided meditation with crystal singing bowls, which will be offered on the 8th. That's the day of the eclipse, right?
Right.
10:15 to 11:15 in the morning, obviously, right?
Right.
And so tell us a little bit about your class, Leslie.
So it's actually a class between Greg and I. He will do
Okay.
a guided meditation first, and we'll finish it off with the crystal bowls.
Wow. So tell me about the crystal bowls. I know nothing about crystal healing bowls or singing bowls.
Okay, so there's different types of crystal bowls, and my set is an Empyrean crystal bowl, which is a combined benefit of your clear crystal as well as your frosted crystal. And so they have a deeper tone and a more clear tone, and they hold the tone longer than your standard frosted crystal bowls. And crystal bowls in general have been around since as early as the 11th century. And
Wow.
yeah, and they were actually in the Indian Sanskrit as well and Gregorian chants. So they go back a very long way. And then they were recently rediscovered by a Dr. Joseph Puleo in the 1970s. And they started showing evidence of healing. But it's basically the frequencies are based on the solfeggio scale.
Okay.
And those are found to have, our DNA is actually composed of frequencies. And by playing different frequencies and tones are said to heal your DNA. And you may not physically notice it, but it affects you subconsciously and consciously. And so there's so many different things in our DNA that could be healed, even whether it's past life, recent life, trauma, ancestral, just current stuff. It can be a pretty profound healing experience.
Wow. So
There was even a study done more recently that a doctor actually took blood and put it in vials and then played different tones and then tested those vials and saw a difference in the DNA.
that's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. Kind of almost like our thoughts and with the water, right? With Dr. Emoto and it just tells us there's so much in our everyday existence, opportunities to heal, right? With
Right.
sound and words and thoughts and like you said, everything is energy, right? It's all frequency. It just and it's amazing. The more I learn about it, just everything is so interconnected,
Yes.
and it's like God gave us everything we need already, right here.
Right.
And it's just so beautiful. And so I would imagine, so like those the different bowls, do they resonate with different chakras too?
Absolutely. There's actually 8 main chakras, not 7. So it hits every chakra from the root, sacral, solar, heart, throat, third eye, crown, and then the solar star, which is actually above the body. And it's designed to bring in divine love and spiritual wisdom. And so I have actual 8 bowls to actually get that 8th chakra.
Oh, wow. So I would imagine with what Greg has been talking about with um using your words, right? Breaking through our barriers, right? Of the physicality of our own body, right? I would think that this is just me getting from what you've told me now, is that solar star, right? That's what we're trying to accomplish, right? We're trying to accomplish raising up and getting to that solar star where the magic happens, so to speak, right?
Right.
Awesome. Awesome. That should be a pretty profound healing. And that is also in person, I would imagine.
Correct. And there's actually, as of this morning, only one ticket left.
Oh, wow. Okay, one ticket. That's fantastic. Is that also in the Lyceum?
Yes, all the classes during the solar eclipse weekend will be in the Lyceum.
Okay. All right. I particularly like that building for teaching. I really do. It's got a nice energy. It's got a picture of our Andrew Jackson Davis right up on the fireplace.
Correct.
It's like it's a very grounded. I feel like it's sacred space in there. It just feels really good in there. So that's a great place to have the classes. Wow. So you have these two classes actually kind of go hand in hand, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So, even if you can't get a ticket to the solar, the singing bowls, right? Start with the connections, right? And I would imagine, Leslie, at some other time, do you offer the singing bowl classes? Do you offer those?
I do actually. I do pre-recorded. So someone wants to book a session, they tell me what their ailments are when they book, and I cater that sound healing to their ailments. And if they're not sure, then I tap into spirit and feel what they might need, and I gauge that session towards whatever I feel is coming in from spirit. And then I email them a recording of their sound healing.
Oh, wow. Okay, so they can do it in the privacy of their own home if they would like.
Yes,
Oh,
yes, they don't have to come in person.
yeah, because I
And
would
it's just
imagine.
nice that they put their little headphones on to get a little bit better sound resonance,
Yes.
and yeah.
Yeah, so and I just want to take a second to let our audience know you are a graduate of the Fellowships of the Spirit, correct, Leslie?
Correct.
Yeah, so
Yes.
you have all of these gifts, as well. So it's you're tapping into these natural gifts and you're applying it to the healing with the bowls, and I just think that's fabulous. I would say though, don't listen to it while you're driving, right? That's not something.
Right.
Don't stick it
Yeah.
in your little tape. Yeah, no, do that at home on the couch or something. Yeah,
Right.
but wow. So there's just so many opportunities. Now, do you have a website, Leslie? Do you have a website where people can find you?
My page is actually linked to Greg's website.
Okay. So
But I have a Facebook page, and it's the Healing Nightingale.
The Healing Nightingale, and that's where you will find Leslie and her beautiful crystal singing bowls, as well as anything else you offer, which I'm not, I don't know. So, is there anything else you offer on there besides the singing bowls?
Well, Greg's stuff, and then
Okay.
we have a separate business, Eagle Travel Consultants.
Oh, cool. All right. Yeah. So, Greg, so your website is
www.revgregorykehn.com. So revgregorykehn.com.
perfect. And also, anyone looking to find more information about, I call him Greg, this little beauty's out, right?
Yes, wonderful.
Greg has his ad in there, right? Everything you need to know about Greg is right here, with the big smiling face picture on there too. And you can, find his website and his phone number and everything in the catalog. Greg is a registered medium at Lilydale, so he's been serving spiritualism, spirit, and the people that come through the gates for a very long time. So I just want to briefly talk about some of the other offerings for the Eclipse Extravaganza. There is a cosmic alignment with yoga and crystal bowls with Nancy Lombardo on Saturday, April 6th.
Yes.
She's a dynamite yoga instructor. And
she is.
Yeah, so that's in the morning, and that's in person too.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have We have a Spider.
Yep.
I just call her Spider, right?
Yes,
Grandmother
that's
Spider.
what
She's,
she
I
likes to go
know, I
by.
know. Isn't that awesome? Creating a heart vortex to actualize the full potential for people and the earth. And that too is in the Lyceum. That's on April 6th, 5:30 to 7:30. So that's a nice, I would imagine that will be full of energy as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then also we have the astrology of the solar eclipse, new moon in Aries, new power, new beginning, new you. So
Yes.
that is April 7th, 1:30 to 5:30. Now that is on Zoom and in
Correct.
person. So I would
Mm.
imagine there's many spots available yet for that,
There's
correct?
still some spots left, yes.
Good, good. Oh, okay, you better hurry up, right? And that will be a much more in-depth talk about the astrology than what we have given you here.
Yes.
Yes. And then, of course, Greg's offering again, Cosmic Connections with Spirit, April 7th, 6:45 to 8:45. I'm glad that's at night, because people can take it all in and then maybe they can
Right.
set their intentions before they go to sleep and wake up feeling like a brand new person, right? And then,
Right.
of course, Leslie's offering on the next day, 10:15 to 11:15, the with Greg, right? The solar eclipse guided meditation with the bowls. Okay, so one other thing that we haven't talked about is there is going to be a big arts and crafts show, right? That same weekend. There's just
Yes.
so much going on. So I'll let you take over and you tell us all about it, Leslie.
All right. So it's Sunday, April 7th and Monday, April 8th, 10 to 5 both days. And this might be the biggest fun fest that we've had in many years because I have over 40 tables full of vendors.
Wow.
Yes. And we will even have a couple people that are risking the weather and have outside spots as well. So it's
Risking
going
the
to be quite
weather in Western New
entertaining.
York, I can't imagine.
You
Yeah,
just never know.
that's
Could be
right.
an Indian summer,
Yeah.
And so we'll also have 50-50 drawing, and then we'll have readers, 10-minute readings will be available. All the readers are volunteers, and so they're offering their time to assist in this wonderful fundraiser for Lilydale. And we have all different kinds of vendors, anything from resin to pens, metaphysical items, soaps, herbs, jewelry, clay, pottery, all sorts of kinds of vendors, clothing, you name it. I think we actually have it. We have a pretty good spread of a variety of vendors. And we'll have even though it's in the auditorium, there will be propane heaters in there. So if it is a little chilly, come on by anyways, because with the shutters closed and the propane heaters on, it should be pretty comfortable actually.
And with all the people in there, right? Because
Yeah,
you're
right,
expecting
right.
a huge crowd. So all that,
Yes.
right? It's like all the people, it should make it nice and cozy. Is there a fee to get in?
No, it is absolutely free and there is no gate fee that day. No gate fee
Oh,
either of those days or the whole weekend. So come on in and check out Lilydale. This is a perfect opportunity to add some items to your metaphysical, little chest of drawers and stuff and experience the energy of Lilydale. Even if you decide not to do any classes, Lilydale is a great place to be during the solar eclipse.
Well, they
Yeah.
need to come out and take a good walk around the grounds and experience the energy there. And even if they're not involved in all the classes, look at what they're going to have in the auditorium. I mean, it's going to be huge amount of things there that are spiritually connected and people really enjoy it.
So with that, what about glasses? Everybody's all the rage about glasses. Do you have any Eclipse glasses in Lilydale?
Absolutely. We will have $2 Lilydale logo Eclipse glasses.
Oh,
And the gift shop's going to be open. And so we have a limited edition numbers of hoodies and sweatshirts with the Lilydale logo on it with the solar eclipse in 2024 labeled on there. So,
oh, wow. Oh.
there's only a limited quantity. So, first come, first serve.
Oh, wow. That's fantastic. Because I
Yeah.
know that people, when they come to Lilydale, after they've experienced the beautiful energy there, and just the sereneness, you come through the gates, whether you're car or whatever, you come through the gates and there's just like a shift, there's this shift and there's this sereneness, that a peacefulness that is there. And it's like after they've experienced the various things, especially during season, they want to bring something home with them, they want to bring something home that's tangible, that when they touch it, that just brings back that, so, and it's cool that you're offering the hoodies and all that, and so that's great. So I would get in there right away, right? Do that first.
Once in a lifetime experience,
Yeah, so if it was me, drive in, park, no gate fee, go right to the gift shop, get your special hoodie and your glasses, right? You got that. You can put the hoodie on, right? Because it might be 50 degrees if we're lucky. And then you can go right in, right into the Arts and Crafts Festival, and everybody will be all amazed by your beautiful hoodie. So I would do that first. That would just be me, okay? But that sounds like so much fun. I'm excited about being with my family, but I am very I don't know how I missed this. I don't know how. Yeah. Greg, did you want to say something?
You want to say something, Greg?
I was gonna ask about the campgrounds. Is the campgrounds open?
No, because it'll be too wet. The campground won't be
okay.
up. Yeah.
But there are bed and there are places to stay.
Yes,
right?
there's guest homes open.
you.
We have some of the cafeteria, sacred grounds will be open. Also, Bob's Bargains will be open, Crystal Shop. All the stores will be open once upon a Thursday. The Salt Cave, book an appointment. Also, I would imagine there's probably going to be quite a few mediums that will be offering readings, but I highly recommend booking ahead.
Oh, yes. And you bring up a very good point. First, I want to say this sounds like this event has been coordinated expertly, okay? Because there's so much to do. You can go in, you can do the arts and crafts show, you can get a reading, right? Go online to lilydaleassembly.com and it'll say find a medium up at the top, and you can click on that and then go to their website, and yes, book ahead of time, right? Because I find people are already booking their readings for the summer, for the season.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So for myself as well. So it's like if you're thinking about getting a reading, by phone, online, whatever, book ahead. And I would imagine Greg will be also offering readings during that time period, right? Because
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
you
yes.
won't
He's
just-
already booking.
yeah. So, get to him right away. And you talked about all of the different shops being open this early. This is early, right? And I
Yes.
think that's fantastic. That everything is open early and no gate fees. So you can go in, you can do your Mother's Day shopping, right?
Right.
Go
Yes.
in and get Father's Day, go in and get your items that you need for those special people in your life. There's just so much we can do that weekend. What else did I want to talk to you about? Oh, I think there was something about there's, on a separate note, there's also an event coming up in September, I believe.
I actually have June and September.
Do it. Talk about June.
All right.
Leslie.
So in June, we have another fun fest. There's going to be, it's actually sold out of vendors already. Already sold out. Yes. And so there's another 50-50 raffle. There'll be readings, tons of vendors. There's going to be basket raffles. So all the vendors, we did something a little differently this year. We offered the vendors is paying a smaller fee for space, and they provide a basket. So it's not just going to be some people just donating baskets, but it's going to be some vendors donating baskets. So it's going to be a lot of baskets, then lots of vendors, readings, and that's June 15th. And the campground will be open. And we already have workshops scheduled. The metaphysical medley will be getting ready to kick off that weekend. And we'll have catalogs available at the Solar Eclipse and at the Fun Fest in June. And hopefully it's going to be a beautiful day, but there's no gate fee because it's pre-season.
Awesome.
So, it's a great way to come in, check things out again, start booking your workshops. If you haven't already, check out the catalog And yes, and then in September 14th, we have our first annual car show. We're hoping that to be a success. It's $10 to register your classic car, and we're going to have another fun fest with readers, 50-50 raffle. We're going to have music. The fire hall is going to be also doing a fundraiser with hot dogs and hamburgers. So there'll be some extra food there. And of course, you know, all the shops will be open as well for both of those events, guest houses. I'm sure there's still readers, you know, registered
yes.
mediums available as
Mhm.
well. So yes, we're excited for both events. We're very excited, and I think they're going to be a huge success. And again, it's after season and no gate fee.
Yeah, so I mean, there's just, I mean, these catalogs, yeah, and that's in the catalog, right?
Yes.
The event for September, and anything else is also online. I mean, it's great you can get it online, but there's just something about holding it in your hand, you know, and being able to refer back to it and reading all about I mean, there's a workshop in here for everyone, you know, there's so much, and you can just come in, and even if you don't take a class, I mean, the day is just filled with things that you can experience, you know. So maybe you've never been to Lilydale before, and you don't necessarily know what to take, right? So you come through, you can get this, you call the office for nominal fee. I think it's $5. They mail it to you.
$5 to have it mailed to you.
Yeah,
Yes.
so you don't even have to worry about going and picking it up or having your, you know, favorite friend go grabbing a whole bunch. No, you can get it for $5. It's like it just comes to your home. And then you can take a look in the front, and it lists, you know, the daily events, right?
Right.
The message services at the stump, there's 2 of them, and then the healing temple, and then the 4 p.m. message service, and then you can go into the museum and you can visit all the shops and just walk around and feel the energy, because that's what hooked me the first time I came in. It was like I just knew, I feel like I'm at home. It's like,
Yeah.
oh,
It's very
right?
peaceful.
It's very
You know,
peaceful.
having people come to Lilydale, I've had it happen so many times over the years that they'd say to me, they walk through the gate, they feel at peace.
Mhm.
And one of 2 things occurs. Either they run to every service available and do everything every hour of the day, or like one gentleman said to me, he said, that was the first time I slept that many hours. He got his room and he said, I was tired. He said, I went to bed. He said, I slept. He had 12 hours.
Wow.
And I said to him, I said, it's healing. You know, you're in a restful energy, a protected energy, and it's a very special energy. And people sometimes don't think about that because we're dealing with the regular world and all the craziness going on, all
Mhm.
the dramas. And when you go somewhere where you can really be at peace and it promotes and supports that peacefulness, you know, it's wonderful.
And I think what you just said about it being that Lilydale promotes and supports the peacefulness, you know, it's like there's no you can just be you. And
Yeah.
that's what I really felt like, because for me, I was searching because, you know, unlike you, I did not have, you know, I didn't know what was happening to me, you know. So
Yeah.
when I found Lilydale, it was like I felt like there was no judgment about the different experiences. You know, actually there was a place to figure it out, and teachers to tell, you know, this is what's happening, and this is, you know, if you choose to, you can do that. And it's like you can be, you know, talk about bold originality, right? When you come into Lilydale, it's like it's a fostering place to be able to open up and just be the very best you can be.
Right.
Yes.
And you know, so, and I think with this particular solar eclipse, Greg, you talked about, you know, a new beginning, a fresh start. So even, you know, if you can get there, try to make the visit, you know, come and see Leslie and Greg and all of the other wonderful events, you know, and if there's the tickets are sold out, well, you can still go to the arts and crafts show and just feel the energy and walk around and feel the peacefulness. So is there anything else the 2 of you would like to talk about before we close up this Eclipse Extravaganza show today?
Well, there's, you know, there are a lot of wonderful events this season at Lilydale. We have Barry Goldstein. We got a butterfly release, Tibetan monks again, Shannon Taggart, and there's a wonderful Medium Leagues fundraiser on
Oh,
July
yes.
6th.
Yeah, game night. So
Yeah,
that's all in the works. And so come with your thinking cap on, and there's going to be some nice prizes, and there will be different categories so that it's family friendly, so you can bring the children and see how they want to. It's always fun when you get children in the mix, right? So
yes,
yes, there's just so much happening, and it always seems to go by so quickly. I mean, the season. And so it's like you really need to get your planning document, and I
absolutely.
couldn't wait, before I was part of Lilydale, and teaching, and now with, me being registered and everything, and I still can't wait to see it, but it's like, I couldn't wait to get this and go through it and sit down. It's like, oh, this, oh, this, oh, this, and it was, for me, it was just as good as Christmas.
Yeah.
So, it's very exciting. So I do want to thank you. I want to thank both of you for coming on today and giving everyone a little more information and more of a peek into everything that's going on for this very special event. And now I'm very even more sad that I'm not going to be here for it, but I'm sure that I'll hear all about it when I get back, and maybe I'll go in and get my hoodie before everybody else.
We'll
Guess
send you
what?
energy.
Yes, send me the energy because I need it. So thank you very much, and everyone, take care, and we will talk to you all soon. Thank you.
Thank
Hey.
you,
Brenda.
Brenda.
Leslie.
God bless everyone.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.